I really, really liked the new intro. Wow. Welcome in, everybody. We've got a new intro. I really enjoyed that. It's the first time I've seen it in its entirety. So welcome in, everyone. We're on live stream 59. I can't believe it. And Growler's in the house with me. Growler, welcome, my brother.
Thank you, sis. Thank you very much. It's great to be back fellowshipping and sharing and preparing, I guess, isn't it? That's what it's all
Absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. So, excuse me, my voice is not very good today, guys. Now, I just want to welcome in who is here. We've got True Seeds. Welcome in from Perth. Yes, 8:26 a.m. Oh, of course it is. Yeah, 2 hours behind us. Welcome in, darling. Eric Dunaway, great to have you on board. Really enjoy your company. Look, Sister Kathleen's in the house. Yes.
All right.
There she is. There she is. I've been enjoying her videos. I have. Right. I go watch her every day.
Good Make sure
she's up. She's been a little bit tired, but she's increasing again. Okay, Paul Levi. Welcome, Paul. Paul, you leave the most beautiful comments everywhere. Yeah, you leave your trail of loveliness in your wherever I see you go. Yaz Child, great to see you as normal. I think I have to refresh my live chat because it's stopped. Oh my gosh, there's heaps of people here. I see.
I've got it. Oh, you're right.
No, mine was stuck on 4. I'm thinking, or 5. I'm thinking, oh, okay. Where is everybody? Okay. So, oh, look, you guys that I didn't say hello to, Vernon, Anne, NC, and Anne Wellsworth. 2 beautiful Annes. Hello, ladies. We love you.
Annie
we love
Wellsworth.
you. Vernon, always in our prayers and thoughts. Vernon is in the house. Anybody got any questions? Ask Vernon. He'll answer you, I'm sure. All right, guys, we're going to kick this off.
We do have, sorry, didn't mean to, but we have Fudgy in the house. Thank you, Fudgy, for everything that you've sent through.
Okay,
you're awesome, mate.
Right.
So thank you.
Okay, so just before we do get started, I want to say a big thank you to Fudge, our sister in Victoria, Caramel Fudge. Thank you for everything you send. I go through everything you send, and we learn things from each other, don't we? It's amazing. And I want to say thank you, anybody who prayed for Kathleen Miller's little girl and Heather. And she had brain surgery, just to fill you guys in on a miracle. Kathleen Miller's daughter, Heather, had brain surgery last week and was home within 24 hours. So praise Father. Thank you, Father. Praise Father. Now, so that was a miracle. Sorry, I just got a call coming in. I got sidetracked. And I also wanted to thank Bradar Eon for all the information you send me. Thank you very much. We will drop the link for the email for any new people, so you can email me anytime with any good information you have. And that's how channels like ours, we all help each other, and you guys see stuff that we don't see and vice versa. So it's all a big learning game. So good evening, everybody in the house. And just before we get started, I just want to, there they are, Brad on Eon. Thank you. Brada, I can't say it.
Brada Eon.
Thank you. Okay, so all right, so I want to start it off. I just want to show you guys a little video. I want to share my morning with you, and I'll do a little commentary over this video. So if Messi will, here we go. And I want everybody to thank Messi, please. Okay, so we're just going to run this. This is what I encountered this morning when I put my shoe on. I felt something squishy up in the top, and I thought, it's probably just a piece of paper or a couple of leaves. And I walked around for about a good 5 minutes, and then I went, it's really annoying me. And that's the poor little man that I pulled out. He was alive, just clinging to life when I got him out, because his legs were moving. If you look on his back, it looks like he's got a face. Look, just like that other spider, right? Look at it. Owl or a spooky face. But yeah, so that was in my shoe, and he didn't bite me. So I was very, very fortunate, and thank you, Father in heaven, for not letting that bite me. I don't have spider phobia, so as Growler will tell you, it didn't freak me out. But Yeah, if you don't
It
like
did. It
spiders.
did.
No, it didn't.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You ran. You wouldn't even come near me. No.
No, I know.
Um,
I climbed a 200-foot tree. Still up there.
yeah, that's where we're
Yeah.
broadcasting live from the gum trees
Yeah.
of Australia.
That's right.
No,
That's
so
right.
that I just wanted to share that with you guys because I praised the Father that didn't bite me. He does have big fangs, and
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I know my spiders, and that is not a huntsman. So I'd have to do a little bit of investigation. Like anyone would look at that and say it's a huntsman. Well, it's very similar. It's very
Mm.
similar, but it's not. So we'll find out. I'll try and figure out what that was. But the chook's got him, so it's in chook belly. So
Yeah.
he will be coming out as eggs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Spider flavored eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's right.
just to start the stream off with a bit of fun, to let you guys know also before we get going, just another miracle, seeing that we're on miracles.
Mm.
Growler and I's prayers were answered, and we have found a proper place to go. We did have somewhere, but it wasn't right. And then the Holy Spirit stepped in, and thanks to two of our subs on this channel,
Yeah.
we have found a country place to go to, away from
Yep.
this city. So
Yep.
we have been saved, and it's Noah's Ark. And
Mm.
in a way, we've helped them nearly as much as they're helping us. So the Father brought them to us. They never heard us say we needed that we were looking for somewhere either. They never heard that. As far as they never said it. If they did, they just said, yeah,
Mm.
get out of the city, get out of the city.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
main thing now, is to get out of the city. So
Mm.
I just wanted to share with you, we have to give thanks to Father, because look, guys, if he's answering our prayers, he's going to answer yours. He said he would hide us in the wilderness, remember, when all this was going on. There's many scriptures and psalms that speak about him hiding us in this time. Now we have somewhere to go. And I thank you, each and every one of you, my dear friends, for every single prayer that you prayed. And I pray that Father in heaven will bless you, each and every one of you, for every single prayer, because it all matters. Every prayer in the air is danger to the enemy. It is like a poison arrow to the enemy. So I give all praise and honor to Father. So I just wanted to start the stream off like that. Now, I'm going to hand you over to say your hello, because then we'll go into my part, and then we'll go into your part, as we usually do. So we've split the presentation up into two, as usual. And welcome, Growler.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Messi worked very hard on that intro, and he's done a great job. And a big thumbs up for the awesome Messi. As we said, he is the engine room of this this stream. So and he's my special brother, and he's just awesome. So big thumbs up there for Messi. Just like to say a quick hi to Cheyenne S. Good to have you in, Cheyenne. We think very alike, and I've seen you in Aya's live streams and Blade's live streams as well. So great to have you in. Eric Dunaway, good to have you in, mate. You're awesome. Forgiven and blessed, great to have you in. Again, Rayetta Lee, great to have you in. Josie Burns, nice to have you in, Josie. Dana, how do you say that? Lastel, great to have you in, Dana, in from Canada. Please drop some comments down and let us know what the restrictions are like and what next phase that they're moving to. That'd be great, and where you're located, that'd be awesome. And of course, our number one is Anne Mooresworth. Great to have you in, Sister Anne, and we love and we miss you very much, and
Good
you're
day,
awesome.
sweetheart.
Vernon Daniels, yes, the crazy rabbi in Michigan. Great to have you in, mate. And I'm joking. Great to have you in, Vernon. And if everyone can say a quick prayer for Vernon, that'd be great. He's very special to us, and we'll talk to you soon, mate. Sister Kathleen, good to have you in. Tricia, Good to have you in. Paul Levi, a very, very special brother, and we love you, mate. We really do. I did write down your number, but I'll have to get it off you again. Just send it in an email to Beck.
Yeah, sorry,
Fudgy.
Paul. He's hopeless.
Yeah.
He's hopeless.
I always have been.
No,
Nothing's changed. And
just with
Bradda.
numbers.
And yeah, that's it. Bradda, Mandy writes. Joseph Sage, great to have you in. The lovely Kathleen Miller, you're beautiful. Tim Ryan, good to have you in, mate. True Tube, Blue Eyes, that's not me. Is that me, Blue Eyes? No, it's not me. I'm joking. And Julie C, good to have you in. That sound like Frank Sinatra. Okay, I like Frank Sinatra. Post anything. Good to have you in, mate. I love Sinatra. He's unreal.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, he was.
He's a Freemason. Come on.
I know. No, that was in the old life. Uncle Jesus, real Bible reading. Okay, Uncle Jesus.
Cool. Welcome. Good to have you. Welcome, Uncle Jesus.
Yep, and the lovely Bronny. Great to have you in, Bronny, and Robin Middlebrook. Good to have you in, Robin. Good to see you in, and Brahman's mum, Ancient Egypt Queen. Great to have you in. Data Junkie, Mountain with a View, and any Dedra Higgins, anyone else that Christopher Levens, our special man.
Oh, Chris, welcome in.
Yeah. So it's going to be good to have Chris on the stream. He's very, very smart, and he's one of our long-term special brothers. And your husband's in, Paul McKellen. He's in, darling, and he's listening to his wife doing the presentation, which is great. JD Leslie, if you can just give us a bit of an update over there. Sorry, mate, I was going to talk to you a bit further in an email. I know you're in the military. If you can just let us know if there's anything special happening over there at the moment, any movements or anything, that'd be great. So, but yeah, everyone else, thank you so much, and it will be back over to Beck. And yes, thanks, Mandy, mate. Right. Hello, Mandy.
And Jesus Wizard Spatula. Oh, with the guitar, loving it. Greetings, cousins, and you in NZ. Good on you, mate. Jesus Wizard Spatula. I like the name. And Josie Burns, welcome in. Just these new people, I really want to welcome you. All the blue ones, we've been family a long time, guys, and I'm not modding anyone that's new, just so I can keep an eye and help you guys and remember who's who, because we do have a lot of people in the chat these days. All right, so we're going to start off by Messi is going to pull up something for you by my dear friend John Levi. John Levy, whatever you want to call him. Okay. Yes. Now, it was just by accident that I came across this the other day, but and it was actually by accident that John came across it as well. So we'll play it and then we'll talk about it, because you'll understand more, because we'll let the master speak.
We do. And how about just a major thing that I didn't even talk about in my last video, and yet I made it my thumbnail. I only found the picture after I made the video. This is in the city of Pompeii, and here in the background we see Mount Vesuvius. Absolutely mind-blowing. And again, I noticed this later. And even after I used it as a thumbnail, I really didn't notice this man down here, these people, and how massive this really is. This is insane. And this really reminds me of the Statue of Liberty. I mean, really, the same kind of features and the same kind of statue. I'm not sure what this is made of. Probably concrete. Again, this is supposed to have been destroyed in 79 AD, but many people chimed in with the fact that maps up to the 16 and 1700s show Pompeii. So again, we don't know with our timelines, but what we do know is what we see. What do we see here? Something that resembles the Statue of Liberty. Again, imagine a spiky crown of liberty or whatever. And this is too advanced for 79 AD. Again, this is probably better than anything I think I showed in the video. What of this piece on the side? Was this part of some mouthpiece apparatus, like a microphone? Or was there a helmet, similar to the Olmec statues in Mexico? And we've examined in a past video different concrete mega statues throughout the realm. And as far as I'm concerned, with the time period and that they had found this city buried, this is the greatest statue in the world. And is the rest buried? What did it look like before? And we'll move on. Wow, I don't really know why I'm going Tower of Babel today. Perhaps because I recently
Right. Thanks, Messi. So, as you could see there, there's a head that would be about the approximate size, maybe a little bit smaller than the Statue of Liberty. And the features, we're looking at Prometheus as well here. Now, the movie Prometheus, the opening scene, with that guy, that is exactly the same look. And what Growler and I have come to the conclusion quite a long time ago, and any of you who have been watching for a long time, you probably remember the stream we did on this, was that it is the representation of Augustus. And or Isis, well, we can go Nimrod, because you see, Lucifer is a combined creature of male and female, and this is my basic overview of it, of what I take of all these statues that pretend they're female, but they're actually a male, or it's a transgender statue. But let's just get back to this statue. The feature about this that was most exciting was not only the size, but the mouthpiece. And I've seen a picture of this from the back of it. The back of the head is missing, but it is absolutely massive. And we don't know if the rest of this is under the ground. So as far as statues around the world go, this one maybe is, because this was buried, maybe is the greatest statue of all. Now, what I'm going to put forward of my own theory, which I'm like John, I know nothing, and we all just theorize and, ponder. The Bible says to meditate upon things, and that means to ponder and to think upon things. And I've been thinking upon it, and this could have been one of the images we would have talked about of the beast, the actual physical image. Now, because not only the Statue of Liberty, but this one here, or they were all around the world at one stage, I think it just proves that this has all happened before. And if that's pre-flood, well, okay, if you want to talk pre-flood. But I think it was a lot later than that. That's my thoughts. And this was the image. That was the last image. Are we looking for an image like this? Well, we don't have to wait much longer, guys, because we know what Prince Charles said last week. Now, Growler is going to recap us on that, on exactly what Prince Charles said. But Prince Charles paved the way and opened the door for the AC in his opening speech at COP26, for any of you that weren't with us last week. So I'm just going to say it, the Antichrist will be revealed. Prince Charles has spoken of him, and we provided proof of that in our last live stream. So what I'm getting at with these statues is the image of the beast and how he wants to be represented as a man. So if we want to go to the next page, I got you there, Messi, and I'm going to show you some more statues that they were, just quickly, they were obsessed with in the old world. We have two folders here. We have one from Rome. Now, these are the Roman ones, and Messi's just going to flick through this for a bit. That's just a painting. So go down. Go down. Okay, so just go quickly upon that. But this is Pan, and just keep going, please. Can you go past that one? That is the worst one, and sorry if that offended anybody, but this is what we're dealing with here. So, as you could see, now they are, okay, go back down. Go back to up, I should say. Yeah, stop there. What, with these two men here? Just trying to point out with these statues how evil they all were, because, and so obviously this statue that we just saw previous to this is not good. So these men, that it's sort of cut off for me, messy. I don't know why that's not in the shot, but just keep going. Yeah, see how they're standing. Stop there. Yeah, just these are their sculptures. They are just beside themselves with horror and gore and torture. And just a couple more down here. Yeah, keep going. No, that's the end of that one. Could you go to the Pompeii folder, please, which is the next one? So the next one is the statues that they have actually found in the ruins of Pompeii. I can actually see why Pompeii was destroyed if the artwork that you're about to see was their general gist on life. It was all about battle. It's all about men and men and men. Not much to do with the women as far as statues go. And here are some of the artifacts from Pompeii. So, as you can see yourself, excuse me, see, some were broken, but the centaur is very, very interesting indeed, that centaur there. Now, as we go down, there's that head, and you can see the back of it there. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Then the back's missing. So these are all from Pompeii. Now, I guess what I'm trying to say in all this is that this has all happened before. This is a ruined civilization that they tell us is thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. I'm not buying that anymore, and that's just my thought about it. But that image, thanks, Messi. We can stop there. And I think I did send you one more thing to pull up. As far, if not, that's fine. If that's all that it was to do with the statues, thanks for that. So, what with that image, the first one that John Levy had on, it just shows you that that statue was obviously put there to worship them, and Nebuchadnezzar, he did it. We don't know how many of these kings actually built their own statues. That mightn't have been the worldwide one. I'm not surmising that. However, it is a statue of an Antichristos, no matter which way you look at it. So I just thought I would throw that in because I've been doing a lot of investigation that my mind's still not set on some things I haven't even prayed about yet, which that's me being slack. So I need answers before I share them. And I just really wanted you guys to share in that with me so you guys know where my head's at. So what did you think of that, Growler? Is that okay?
Yes, as we've talked about it so many times, and that's the good thing how, it's, you'll ask me something and I'll say yes or no. I don't think it's like that, or you'll do the same to me, so therefore, by the time we come up with sort of things, it's actually discussed between two people.
So you think that
and
the conclusions I've drawn
yeah,
are sensible so far?
yeah, they are. And as they say, there's nothing new under the sun. And it's all happened before, and we've talked about the technology they had back in Tartaria and the technology that they've got now. So it's sort of like a transitional sort of thing. It's the same, but it's not. You know what I mean? They've gone to a different level,
Exactly.
and it's very interesting. It is, and yeah. Well, all I can say, I mean, you've studied this longer than me, but every time you do go through it, you always talk about it. And if I know something that can sort of like add to it, but you're the one that's brought all this up, and it makes you think, and that's what it's all about. Don't live inside your little prism. Don't live inside your little box. There's always more. There's always more to the story. And with what you've come up with, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and there's so much more that we're going to find out.
I know, we're only just scratching the surface, Thanks very much, Timothy Ryan. Thank you for that comment. So yeah, I just really like to share with you guys what's happening, and if that's why we can all help each other. If we do stray off and have some silly ideas that I'm sure we all do sometimes, we need to be just put back on the right narrow path. So it is a really narrow path, this one. It's really hard to find the truth in amongst all the lies, because anybody who's here knows that everything we've been told was a lie. History was written by the victors. Your space stuff was written by NASA and Walt Disney and a pack of Masons. So we didn't get off to a good start from childhood, from babies. So we really need help. And anybody who can put any input into this community is needed and appreciated. And, you know, there's been a few more people die too, guys. There was Mac Pahar or Pakar. I didn't watch him, but he died mysteriously during the week. He was a flat earth truther. And Shelley Disdar passed away as well. So it's been one heck of a few weeks. Then on the other end of the scale, we have channels that are completely attacking each other online. It's just bizarre what's been going on in the community. So now's the time to stick together. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. And now's the time that we can be filled with knowledge if we pray for it, because everybody else is just running around. Even in the truth community, they're running around going silly. And I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm not getting involved. And we just need to really, this is when the enemy's going to come at us, because if they're all being jibbed out there, a lot of them, the enemy doesn't have many people to come for now, not as many. Okay, so he's really, like, talk about TIs, targeted individuals. Well, now, you know, the floor's cleared and there's only a few of us left standing. So now's the time when we go, well, we're not going to act and behave and be horrible to each other, you know. And, yeah, well, that's right, shills versus shills. But whoever they are, why be horrible to each other in this hour of need when we all need each other? Man, I mean, it's getting dark out here. What? And they want to go on muddy waters. Okay, so, guys, we're going to kick into this and not worry about any of it. I did want to just put that out there, though, for those of you that are more sensible, that know that we don't have time to waste, because this is really important stuff. Growler's got some really important stuff. We got some kind of bad news over here this week through the Victorian government, and he's going to share with you guys what's come through. Thanks, Growler.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks, sis. It's always good to go into something refreshing, you know, like Arteria and all that sort of thing. You know, just it actually builds. It can help build a much bigger picture. So if you think you're on the right track, then you go into that. You know, it changes everything and rebuilds it again.
Right.
So that's and thank you for bringing that up. And as we discuss as we discuss the timelines, me and yourself all the time, how long we're here and what's happened here and what's happened here, and it's just adds another 100 degrees to what we're trying to figure out here, because this is our job. Yes. So I. Oh, how would I put it?
Are we going to get our video out of you again?
Nah, yeah, probably.
Hey, listen,
I'm really comfortable in this seat.
It must be. You're umming and ahhing a lot. No, I was going to say, I'm umming now. I was going to say that everybody, we have another channel for those of you that missed it last week, and it's called The Evening Memes. Okay, and Messy's put together some funny memes over there. So after the show, we'll drop at the end of the stream, we will drop the link for you guys. And after this, you can go over and just spend a couple of minutes having a look at Growler's ums and ahs video.
Ah, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get old. Okay,
and then
so it's not my fault.
He did one. I like the one he did with me was Clueless Beck or something, and I just I just lost the plot and I didn't know what I was saying. So. It just goes back when we were really like babies at this, even talking on a stream, and we'd just get lost. And so a bit of fun there. The evening memes channel. Thank you, Messi.
Yeah. Well, bring it on, eh? Bring it on. Yeah, that's right. And I'll try not to say any ums and ahs now. Now I'm really paranoid about it. So if I say ums and ahs, give me a thumbs down, guys.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, we're just getting all this information, and I was just trying to reprocess it and strategize it and put it in order, but for some reason that didn't happen. So that's fine. Hopefully it's happened. Hopefully it's happened now. So yeah.
Chris wants everybody to pitch in and get us all over to America. Mate, I wish we could get out of here, but we can't get out of here without being VC'd at all ever again. It's over. The days are gone.
Yeah, as I said, Chris, I'll only accept a Gulfstream 5, a G6550. With our whole internet family serving drinks and meals on the plane, that'd be great. I'm joking.
You don't want much.
No.
Yeah, so.
No. I'm very simple that way. So yeah, they're only $120 million, these Gulfstream 5s. So I'll leave that to the bank manager. Yeah. So Chris, have a chat with the bank manager. Yeah. So as I was going through last live stream and what Captain Herbie said at COP26. And as I said, it's basically a massive Gaia ritual that was pre-prepared and the brainchild of the Jesuit order to bring in their Gaia worship, and they had that what was it, the pre-COP26 at the Vatican that we showed 1 or 2 live streams ago. And as I said to you, sis, there's going something massive is going to happen at COP, and that was 3-4 weeks ago. I just had that feeling. And as I've gone through that, and during that last 2 live streams, I brought out what's happening in Victoria. Now they're passing a pretty I mean, it's just 1,000 notches compared to what's happened in Victoria. The only thing is it hasn't passed. It has passed. They're just bullcrapping everybody, so it's already passed. They're going to pass it through on the 16th. It just they said it hasn't gone past the lower house. Yeah, it's already passed, and I'll leave it there. Now the thing is, I still can't get it because it still hasn't been released in PDF format through the Victorian Parliament on the Legislative Parliament website. So I can't download the whole things. But the funny part is, and if you have a look at it, they love their numbers. It is 113 pages.
Wow.
So everything matches. So I'm not sure. I think they've got over 300 sections, A, B, C, D, and everything. So it's going to be 113 pages with 400 sections in it. So I can't really do much at the moment until they bring out the PDF format. Then I can gut the hell out of it and dissect it that way. So what I'm going to do is I don't like using other people's videos and that sort of thing, but I just want to keep following this bill to let you guys know, whoever's in Victoria or Australia. And as I've said, Victoria is the command and control centre for Australia, and as I've said, it's a UN strong city, totally funded by the UN. So the Victorian Parliament has unlimited funding from the UN. It has unlimited funding from central banks. So, I mean, there's no democratic process here anymore, and that's stopped when this whole pandemic started. So, I'm going to let these guys now. This video here is done by 2 lawyers from Melbourne. So I'm not sure how they got the bill. I just don't know how they would have got it somehow. But they didn't put the links in there. Every time you put the link in there of that bill, it disappears straight away because it hasn't passed the lower house. So I thought, instead of me, trying to go out on a whim, I would rather, these guys have seen it and they're lawyers, so they would know more than me because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. Now this is this is being passed in some other countries. I think it might be being passed in Canada. They've got strong cities over there. I forgot it. I forgot the name of the strong cities over there. Alberta, I think it is, and passing it through Israel at the moment.
Ontario.
Yeah, and everywhere in Europe. But I think Melbourne might be the first city state to pass this bill. Now, if you think things were bad in Melbourne, as we've showed everything on this live stream, you think things were bad there, that was just phase one. And I've constantly talk about, they go to phase one, they go to phase two, they go to phase three. This is how they do it. So they get you on one level, fixed you up, okay, they've conditioned you, then they move to the next level, because hitting them all at once with this sort of crap would be too much of a shock to the system. So they need to condition people and prepare them for what's coming.
Yeah, right.
Now, so this is and as I've said, you know, this is a phased operation. So this whole system has to be in place if the AC is to walk out, because it's going to be too much work to put the mark, to put all these new laws in, to do all this, to condition people. It's going to take too long. So the system has to be in place for him to walk on. He's just going to walk on with his Scotch and Coke, whatever it is. Everything has got to be in place. It's that simple.
Absolutely.
Now this might take half an hour, but the thing is, the thing is, now I'm just going to say a few things before we do this. Now, some of it is, I'm not sure if you guys around the world have heard, oh, now people's pets are getting CV and all this sort of stuff. So they're going to start jabbing animals. So in one of the bills, here, if they say, if they say, well, there's a the virus is going, the virus is going through, you know, people's pet dogs and cats and cattle. This bill allows the government to come around and execute your animals, your dog, your cat, cattle. So as you can see,
get rid of the farmers. Yes,
that's right. So as you can see, next year they're going to bring out Gates's bullcrap meat. And fake meat and all this sort of stuff. So this is another part of the bill which is going to take out farmers. It's going to take out all that sort of stuff. And we know that Gates is buying up farmland, and you know it's only going to be their GMO crap and fake meat and that sort of thing. So they're even going to take their anger out on your pets. So these are the sort of people you're dealing with here. Okay, so they're ruthless. They are ruthless. They're satanic, ruthless. I won't say it. They are satanic and ruthless. Okay, and
they are literally coming after our pets, are they?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And just in another part of the bill. DA, I'll just call him DA down in Melbourne. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. DA, he has the power to get rid of every single crossbencher, every single person in Parliament and everything. He can sack them all. And he's the only one standing in Parliament and dictates whatever he wants to do. And now what they're going to do is they're really going to start dividing classes of people, blacks, Jews, Christians, all this sort of stuff. So and this bill here is basically the roundup bill. It is the roundup bill because, as I've said before on different streams, they need their numbers. They have to get their numbers. So the less people that are jibbed, it's much easier for them to control and take away. So it's a very quick operation. So that's what they want to do, and that will happen here next year. I would say between the first and second quarter of next year, because we're number 7 on the genocide scale here. America's on 6. I'm not sure what Canada is, but as I said, we are the test case, and it's it's very scary. It's 1,000 notches. It goes up 1,000 notches, much more full on than what it's been in Melbourne so far. So they're giving them their freedom at the moment, that sort of thing, and they're passing this bill in. People are saying Dan Andrews is going to go to court and all this sort of stuff. Now, I just want to quickly say this. If you have a look at what Gladbags was doing over in New South Wales, corruption, that sort of thing, and then she was taken before a corruption hearing, and Perrottet moved in straight away. Did anyone vote him in? No. So this is how they've done it. So they'll just put whoever they want. Gladbags, yep, you've done a good job, that sort of thing. Trump up some false charges. She's still on full pay, all that sort of thing. And someone else comes in and reads from the same script. Now, if DA goes, don't believe any of it. They're just taking him out of the way, and whoever comes in has to still read from the same script. Now, this bill that comes in, it will be in for life. There's no elections. There's no nothing. Okay. So if we can now just listen to this, guys. So I'll stop and start it. And just go through it a bit with you. But these guys are doing the heavy lifting for us at the moment. So because they've got the bill in front of them, I don't have it yet. Like I said, when I get it, I'll dissect it and then I'll go into it after that.
Interject for a second.
I just wanted to say a quote quickly from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. A lot of you probably know him. The ultimate test of a moral society is the kind of world that it leaves to its children. Let's leave this world better than we found it, yeah?
Miss, can we go to 3 minutes 40, mate? I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Just that's fine.
And that's the first slippery slope, a disease of pandemic potential, because the question is, what is a pandemic disease? Well, the common flu is a pandemic disease if you want to analyze it. And here, nothing is analyzed in this legislation about what makes for a pandemic disease. The flu is a pandemic disease. So that already gives him the trigger. But let's say that isn't the case. He can then go to a potential. So, for example, if there is a breakout of something in some backwater in Africa, he can say that that's a potential, and he can then trigger the declaration for a pandemic disease. When he does that, what he has to do, it doesn't matter, by the way. The legislation clearly says it doesn't matter that Victoria is not actually affected. The validity of the actual declaration is unaffected by the fact that nothing is happening in Victoria. So for example, if we're in Australia and we're in Victoria and we are all healthy and well, and as I said, a village in the backwaters of Africa, there's a potential that something will flow from there. It doesn't matter. We're still locked down. Okay, I think I'll just stop there and throw it over to Meta on this point. Meta.
Yes, thanks, Gary. So, I think what it does, obviously, it makes provisions for the future. But in my mind, what's happening now is that we have been promised numerous times there's not going to be any more lockdowns. There's going to be, if anything, very targeted things happening that, we are going to sort of.
Thanks. So, in Australia, they've been talking about targeted lockdown. So they say that they've in Queensland they've got 67% double OJ'd. In Sydney, they've got 88% double OJ'd. In Melbourne, they've got 80% double OJ'd. So like I said, when they get their numbers, that's when they start to do targeted lockdowns, okay? That's when they start putting in biosecurity zones and all that. This bill will basically lock you up in your house, and then they just come and do whatever they want. And with this bill, that is in the bill. And as we'll keep watching, just keep your ears out for things like this. Thanks, mate.
Get back to whatever the next normal is going to be. But given that, you know, we've got this now piece of legislation in front of us, essentially, for as long as there is COVID anywhere in the world,
Correct.
Essentially, and I'm not even talking about future potentially, you know, pandemic causing diseases. I mean, this is the reality we're facing right now. And I know a lot of people are kind of, like everybody really, over what's happening, and you know, they want to look forward, they want to look into the future. I mean, the reality is COVID is still going to be around well into, you know, 2022.
No different to HIV. It's been around for the last 40 years.
Absolutely. But you know, let's bring it back into the context of COVID, because we were promised that, you know, that's it for lockdowns and things like that. Well, the legislation has a very, very low threshold, as you pointed out, right? So we don't even need some, you know, disease in Africa. I mean, the fact that COVID is still around already triggers that section. So we're talking about the very, very foreseeable future. It's not something, you know.
So any pandemic at all. So now we've had COP26, we've had climate change, all that sort of stuff. Volcanoes going off, storms, hurricanes, you name it, that's happening. So even if a volcano goes off, or there's, I mean, this is the power that he's got. If there's a cyclone over in America, he can lock down because of a climate problem. And now we've got the climate lockdowns coming, and with the economic situation of the world, if there's an economic disaster, we can lock down for that as well. So he's planning this bill for climate and economic as well, and plus to get rid of the unjuiced, lock them down, take them away, take them out of the house, do whatever you like. And as at the end of the stream, it'll start to make more sense. America's doing the same sort of thing with Project Shielding, and I'll bring that up to after this video. So if we can just keep going.
Talking about something that might happen.
Yes, that's right. So really looking into 2022, if this legislation is passed and it comes into force on the 16th of December, we are still going to be living under a pandemic declaration because we've got COVID around.
For years.
And that, and that will then trigger, you know, all of the other things.
And just on that point, what subsection 4, just for the purposes of the listeners, and the viewers, we're talking here about the triggering mechanism of a pandemic declaration. That's all we're talking about at the moment. And subsection 4 of that particular trigger says that it doesn't even matter if there is no serious risk. Even if there's no serious risk, even if it's a dormant risk, that is a triggering mechanism for the Premier, and it's only the Premier, to then declare a lockdown, and not only a lockdown, but declare all the things that we're going to talk about in a moment.
Yes. So 0 cases, 0 hospitalizations, 0 deaths, irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
We've already seen that, haven't we? We've already seen that to some extent, because I remember last year when there was 5 cases, it was, oh my God, let's lock down quick. This is terrible. Yeah. Suddenly there's over 2,000 cases in the community, and it's okay. You're allowed to go to the races. That's
right. And that's part of the stupidity of the whole thing. But let's not get sidetracked with that, because the people will then start to think that we're all just political about it. Right? But the legislation now says you can have a pandemic declaration made. Doesn't matter if it's real, a serious risk, or if it's not a risk or non-existent risk. If the Premier thinks that it should be done, it is done. And so in the case of COVID-19, I don't even call it COVID-19, by the way. I call it the CCP flu. But anyway, in the case of COVID-19, it
because you don't want to be political.
No, but I can't help it. In the end of the case of COVID-19, it runs indefinitely and it can continue on and on and on.
What sort of oversights are there on him being able to declare this emergency pandemic? What sort of oversights are there in this legislation?
Oh, we're going to come to that. We'll come to that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, now continuing on with this pandemic declaration, another section, 165 AC, all these numbers. It says that the declaration must not exceed a period of 4 weeks. So if somebody tells you, oh yeah, but the declaration's only going to stand for 4 weeks, it's not the end of the world, right? No. It goes on to say, but it may be extended under subsection 165 AE. Let's just have a look at 165 AE. What does it say? And 165 AE says the Premier may vary or extend the pandemic declaration if the Premier is satisfied that there continues to be a serious risk to public health. So if Dan decides in his own wisdom that...
Or any other Premier, sorry to butt in, any other Premier in future. Yeah.
And the question of, let's just pause here as lawyers, when it says the person has to be satisfied that there continues to be some sort of a serious risk, the first question I ask myself is, what are the criteria for the person to be satisfied? What are the tripwires for somebody to say, I'm satisfied of this, of this, of this, of this? None of that is defined in here. We don't know what he's satisfied with. He can be satisfied because he had a bad Chinese dinner and he's got indigestion. Nothing is given as the criteria for satisfaction, and then nothing is defined as serious risk.
Just
what is
stop there, mate.
To...
So with this bill, there is nothing that's defined, and that's the scary part. Nothing is defined. So it's basically whatever he thinks, whatever he wants to do, whatever he wants to dream up, he can do. He can do. Now, I can tell you, Xi Jinping, our dear leader over in the NK, they're the only ones that have basically got this power. So this is the exact same power that DA has got. Now, I have been reading for the last 3 or 4 weeks that they're going to set up field hospitals. This is in Victoria, only in Victoria, but it'll be going statewide, that's for sure. So they're going to set up field hospitals for the unjuiced, because they won't be able to go into the other hospitals because they're going to be a biosecurity threat, okay? No, you've got that. We don't want you to go into the hospital because you're going to infect everyone else. So with the field hospitals they're going to set up next year, they're going to have the bare minimum essentials. So therefore, that's another way of someone to take the OJ. So this is, they're breaking you down from one level to the next, breaking you down from one level to the next. This is serious. I mean, so the unjuiced will be in a field hospital, let's say at a football oval or in a park. They set up the ADF or UN or whatever you want to call them, set up basic care facilities, just enough to look after you. If you've got a serious injury or anything like that, you're screwed. So they're going to put the unjuiced there, and they're going to leave the juiced people in the proper hospitals. So they're starting to really segregate now. So they're just going to keep turning the screws. So that's why I've said in so many live streams, you've got to be spiritually prepared and know where you're going to go and know who's looking after you, which is Yeshua only, because he never lies, okay? So you've got to weigh it up. You're either in the system or you're out of the system. So that's why I'm saying, take all those shackles off. Take the worldly shackles off. Get them all out there. Just get them all off you. Because the only way you're going to go through this is to get through this, if you're not juiced, is to have him. So that's like, if there's people listening that are sort of like undecided and all this sort of stuff, you know, short-term pain for long-term gain. That's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Because, like I said, let's say from World War II up until 2019, They started to really spoil people with freedoms, with luxuries, with consumerism, with materialism. They knew people would get very, very comfortable with that. Then all of a sudden, they're taking it away from you. So that is why you've basically got to be happy with nothing. Okay, so we can just keep playing. Just keep playing there. Yep.
To me, I like to motorcycle. That means I'm a serious risk taker, but I don't see myself as a risk taker. I see myself as a risk manager. There are friends of mine who like to jump out of aeroplanes, but there are other friends of mine who are so gutless they will stay indoors at every opportunity. So what's a serious risk to the public? It ought to be defined. It's also not defined.
Yeah.
Over to you, Mena.
Yeah, look, I totally agree with everything that you said. I think the problem there is that it's being left in his hands, in the Premier's hands, to essentially just make a blanket decision without the need to consult with anybody, and also not having anybody being able to scrutinize that decision. And,
That's
you know,
right.
there is no accountability under the bill, and there is no way to challenge that decision.
And Damo, I don't know if it's starting to come across, but what we're going through the tripwires, and what we're showing is that each time it's very vague, very broad, and there's no checks and balances as we go along with this. So I hope that's coming through with what
Do you think that's deliberate, or do you think that's incompetence?
Oh, that's absolutely deliberate. It's in the legislation in black and white. I'm reading it from the legislation. It's deliberate.
Yeah, Damon, if they wanted to make the legislation specific, they would have done so. You know, this is not by coincidence that this has happened the way it's happened, and also, you know, I'm under the impression, just reading into things, that this, you know, and I think Fiona Patton has actually come out and confirmed that this legislation is being discussed and negotiated since at least May this year. So this is not a new. This is not a new document.
So,
that has
so
now
if you can stop there.
Sorry.
Now, as they said, it was in circulation. It was all being organised by May. Now, this was actually drawn up in basically 2014. As I've said before, Strong Cities Network was birthed in 2015 under the Obama administration, who Loretta Lynch was, and Phil de Blasio. Phil de Blasio and Loretta Lynch actually launched the UN Strong City. So all this was planned, and all this was done from 2014. Once they launched it at the UN in 2015, it was already put in place. They knew exactly what they had to do. And as I said, all your strong cities in Canada and Europe and Australia and America, they all have unlimited funding. And just quickly, they're passing a new, I don't like to say it, a new TERROISIM bill, and this actually goes in with this bill here. Now they're passing another bill that goes in with this bill, and it's what was it? I think it's the new sex bill or prostitution bill in Melbourne. Now with this it goes in with this. Now in Australia or anywhere else, they've got their brothels, and they've got their in designated places where the workers can go to earn their bucks. Okay, so this new bill that goes in with this bill, a woman, if she wants to sell her body, she can do it from a car on the main street, on the side of a main street of a road, and no one can do anything about it.
What?
So now, because people have got no money, so they're passing this new bill in Melbourne. I'll do this in the next live stream as well. So you're gonna have male, female prostitutes, all that sort of stuff, conducting businesses, their business from cars, in streets, courts, cities, anywhere that they want. If you say anything about it, you get 2 years jail.
Oh, wow. I'm going to be sus about looking at people sitting around in cars now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So these are the laws that they're passing here. So we'll just keep going.
let's be clear about this to the
25,000
viewers.
people are massing on the steps of Parliament House.
Let's be clear for our viewers that when the politician in power, the government in power, decides to pass to get bills, they go to their parliamentary council, which are basically lawyers that sit there on the floor of Parliament with their wigs and gowns, and they write up these things. And when they write up these things, like any lawyer, they go to their client, in this case it's the Premier and Cabinet, and they ask, well, what do you want? Tell us what you want. And then they draw it accordingly. So this has been drawn to instructions by the government, right? It goes on then to say, it says that it doesn't matter, subsection 1 applies whether or not at the time of the variation or extension the disease is present in Victoria. So after 4 weeks, it doesn't matter if there's no disease in Victoria. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. He can just extend ad infinitum because he considers it appropriate in his own wisdom to do so.
So there's no limit on that. He can just keep extending by 4 weeks.
He can do it forever. Forever. And then speaking of that, let me go on. Subsection 5 goes on to say, and listen to this one, you're going to love this, viewers. There's no time limit on the number of times a pandemic declaration may be extended under subsection 1. How black and white is that? There is no time limit on the number of times a pandemic declaration may be extended. It can be extended forever. That's what it's saying.
And this is because there was 890 people that allegedly died of the coronavirus.
No, we don't need any deaths. We don't need any deaths.
We don't need any of that.
No, but I'm saying this legislation is a response to that. This legislation is in response. That would be his excuse. Well, I'm doing this to protect the community.
He will say something along those lines, and he will use all his usual spin. But the real reason will come out later. We'll get to the real reason. We can discuss that later. Okay, so we've spoken about the declaration, we've spoken about the triggering mechanism and the fact that he can drag it on ad infinitum, which is a Latin way of saying forever. Then I'm just flipping down. Now, what he's going to do, once he's made the declaration, the next step for the Premier is that he must report to Parliament about the declaration. And that's section 165AG. So he reports, and what it says is this, number 1, if a pandemic declaration is made, varied, extended, or revoked, the Premier must prepare a report in accordance with this section. And what is the report he's got to do? So every time he rolls over the declaration, he has to prepare this report. And he's got to give the reasons for making that decision. Now, the reasons it doesn't say what he has to say in the reasons. It doesn't define. You've got to, when you give your reasons, when you explain your reasons, you must address the following issues: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. None of that applies. All he has to say is, if you're going to be mischievous, I extend it because I think that there is a risk to the community, and I think that this is in communal interest. That's it. He's explained his reasons. Then he's got to supply a copy of the advice he's received from the Minister of Health. It doesn't say which minister, but it just says the minister. That's subsection, hang on, 1B. 1B, it says a copy of the advice of the minister and chief health officer in respect of making that decision. So, for example, you go to the health minister who will just say exactly the same, and you'll go to the chief health officer who will say exactly the same again. And remember,
you say, do you want to keep your job?
Right. That was you stuck the words out of my mouth. The chief health officer is employed by him. He's not going to do anything to say to the contrary. Aside from that, since when do we give such ultimate power to somebody he's unelected? I mean, we can sack Dan Andrews technically at the poll at the voting booth, but the chief health officer is completely unelected. He's unaccountable to anybody. He can do whatever he wants.
It's happening all over the Western world.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And can I just can I just say in relation to that, that is the point that is being sold to us in inverted commas that provides for greater transparency than what we've had in the past. So that is the point where we all should go, yippee, we're loving this piece of legislation because this effectively binds the executive to be more transparent with us. Now, I have two thoughts about that. One is
So if
that
we
under
stop there.
our Public Health and Wellbeing Act.
So, as I'm saying, I'll put the rest of this in the description box because they do go on a little bit, and I mean, it's towards half. 3/4 of the way through the video that you really get to get a grasp of how they're going to segregate people, how they're going to lock it down, and how they're going to drag people out. Now, this, as we said, with the thumbnail of and the name of this video, it's Project Zephyr Roundup. So this is what this bill is doing, and they're going to pass that through all the other strong cities as well. I'm sure very, very soon. So now this video is from Cafe Locked Out. So I urge you guys to subscribe to these people, and I want to thank these people for doing this. Really, really good, and I thank them very much for this, and all kudos goes to these guys here because they've actually got lawyers behind it and they can explain it really, really well. Much better than what I could. As I've said, I can't explain it if I don't have the bill in front of me. So these guys have done it for us. So as I said, and as we both said, sis, I think Richie from Boston did the same thing. You know, you had the first project and then Project Zephyr. So Project Zephyr is the roundup.
It was, well, it was Operation Pogo was first.
That's right,
and then
that's right.
Operation Zephyr. And
that's
it was
right.
David Goldberg. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
So there was a guy that was killed a couple of years ago, David Goldberg, who had all this stuff written down, and it was legitimized material. And he had dates, he knew stuff, and then they had a page called Friends of David Goldberg. And I kept watching that. And they talked a lot about Operation Pogo, which Pogo was the getting all the names, addresses, location, blah, blah, blah. And then Operation Zephyr was Roundup. And that's why we called it Operation Zephyr Roundup today. And it all goes back to David Goldberg. Because it's true. This is where we're at. And I think Growler's just, you know, shown you guys some really good information. The lawyers know what they're talking about. And that they know better than we will, you know, and so that was a lot of really good information there that we can all look. We all know what's coming. We can all see what's coming. They did a big sacrifice the other day. You know, they're getting ready because they're not mucking around now. There was a young lad that come out from the Astroworld nightclub, concert, and he said there was at least over 100 people down. Now, they reported 8, and it was funny because I was contemplating, okay, so there's all these people down, but the media reported 8, and it seemed very significant. And what dropped into my spirit like a lightning bolt was that 8 were sacrificed, but not at the concert. They were sacrificed away from the concert, and all those other people that went down, they were just more numbers that didn't matter. But his number was 8, and they sacrificed 8 people for that man to just keep singing, saw what was going on, didn't care. We all know what was going on there. So you guys asked in the chat about that before, so I said I would touch with my thoughts on it. Yeah, absolutely. My thoughts are that was an absolute sacrifice. I don't need to look at the gematria. I don't need to look at the signs and symbols to know what that was. And at this time, at this late hour, and on the date, you know, I think it was 7/11. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was 7/11. And now you have another day to look out for here, unfortunately. Not my thoughts, but the thoughts of the occultist is 9/11, which is how we write it in this country. The 9th of November is 9/11, and that's what day we're on today. So just, I think in your country it'd be a good day just to, keep your ears pricked and see what happens. Hopefully just, you know, pray because you want to be out of harm's way when these things go down. And it was, 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. So it was the 5th. Okay. Because we got the news late about that. We didn't even know that it happened for a few days. So that's why. Okay, 5th of November. There you go. Guy Fawkes Day. So there's they've just got the meaning behind everything, because that's how they play with their numbers, and they cast spells this way, and it seems childish to us because it actually is, and that's not how we roll with Yeshua. You know, he said no good thing would he withhold from those who ask, and he loves you, and if you have given your heart to him, then there are certain things that you should expect as a child of the Most High. And I think we put ourselves down and think that we don't deserve help. Like we just can't believe the help that we've been given from him directly. And we know we don't deserve that help. None of us are good. Yeshua said no one is good. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen little children, young children, scam and scheme. And even I've seen little young children be evil. And it's just beyond me that, you know, it happens, but this is the world we live in. And if we don't have the protection of him, we've got nothing, guys. We really don't. And I'm about at the end where, you know, we've got to let whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I think our lives have been written to a certain extent. If we can change that at the end, once getting saved, that's what changes it. That's how you change your destiny. That is it, by saying, Father, help me. If your son is real, please show me. That's it. There's no big sinner's prayer. This has come to the time of life where people will be hitting their knees. They don't even know what to say to the Creator. But he'll answer. He'll answer each and every call. And he will put in their spirit not to do this thing that we are all warning not to do. Anybody who's still on the precursor page, you're not here. You're not living here. You don't understand what's going on. This is not buy nor sell nor trade without this mark. We are living society now. Okay? Within the week, we are living society as we know it. And we wouldn't be doing that if this was a game, because, I mean, I've lived here for 12 years. I've been quite comfortable here. No need for me to go. That's why I've been here so long. And now the time has come where the Holy Spirit said, get out, get out, get out. You can hear it. And so something big comes this way for us all. So my dear brothers and sisters, all I know is everything is converging. The convergence is here. You know, shut up the book of till the end, Daniel, because many will run to and fro and seek knowledge. And this is we're there. They're seeking knowledge from a totally different demonic level that they're calling AI, and they're introducing it into the human genome. It's as simple as that. And there you go. Then you have your black awakening, your black army. Whether they keep you alive or not is up to them and what they do with you. And they might mine you. They might harvest you. I just don't know. But it is what it is, and I'm cutting it dry because I know that we're not going to be able to be. Can you just mute for a minute, Growler? I know that we're not going to be able to be on air for too much longer. And yeah, a few of us have been saying that for a while. But remember, everything that we've said is actually, most of the people who have been on the right page in this journey, most everything they've said has come to pass. And even though it's taken longer than we suspected, well, that's grace, and that's great. We should be shouting from the rooftops that it has taken longer, that he has given us more time to prepare. But those who have had time to prepare and have just keep putting it off, you're looking a gift horse in the mouth. Those of you who keep thinking, oh, no, just wait a little bit longer. Look, if you would have been doing this a year and a half ago, you wouldn't be needing to prepare now. So as a watchwoman, I'm saying, there is no more time. Whatever you can get from now on, whatever you can get your hands on, food, water, shelter-wise, that's what you do. There is no chasing after the rainbow of the pot of gold at the end anymore, the money and how nice we can have a house and how nice we can have our lives more comfortable. We're past that. Everything's going to get really uncomfortable from here on in. And you know, and we were talking this morning when we went down and prayed at the park, Growler, and I said that I think this world is, to enter into it, it's really going to be for the brave. the meek and the brave, because you're going literally to have to be brave and use the Holy Spirit's power to reject what's coming. And it's not going to be easy, but with the Father in your spirit, nothing can take you away from him. Not height, not breadth, not depth, nothing can take you away from him. So even if we lose our life, we have gained more. Like, look at Job in the Bible. He lost his family, but then he gained 10 times more at the end. He probably got a way better wife. He probably got nicer children. It's a bit of a joke in the community, but you know what I mean. He never, it went without, and Father washes away our tears. I think there comes a time where we won't even remember any pain that we've felt, and maybe we'll have memory of a certain thing happening, but not the pain that went along with it. And this is all for our protection, I guess. But it's coming this way. So anybody that's still sort of trying to tell you guys, look, it's not the mark, you need just to show them what's happening in our country. We're prisoners. We can't leave. We can't come to America, even though we've got money and we could. We can't. And because we have to be literally have that stuff in our blood to go there. Now, this should tell anybody who's sensible human being, it should tell you that if it's being forced upon you, it's something that you do not want. So it's one day to the next. We just take it one day at a time, because there is no other way now. We're at we prepared for so long in our spirits that we're not in fear. So we're at the point where, oh, good, like this is coming along now nicely. However, there are many who are in fear, and I can see why, because it's a fearful thing what's coming on the world. It's more fearful than anything before. But the only way we can do this is to run into the strong tower, run under his wings. He created you. He can do anything. He pulled out this miracle for us just last week. And that's how I know it's time to go. So, and we will live stream up there. So don't worry. We're not going to run away and be gone. That's not the plan at all. And as long as he gives us the ability to keep doing this and to keep reaching you guys with a new message, hopefully every week, which we'll be able to do more up there. We're just going to be so free, just so spiritually free of this city and the bonds that this city comes with, even though we don't even go out there anymore. It's still the bonds of the city will be released from around our necks. The yoke will be gone and we'll be able to fly. And that's what we're counting on. So there you go. Bronwyn's mum, we love you. I'm sure you have been. I know you have been. And we thank you for every single prayer.
Thank you.
As I said before, we wouldn't have been able to do it with you guys. It wouldn't have happened without the channel. And it's a miracle. And I know, look, anybody, please, we need to tell each other what the Father is doing for us, and it will strengthen the body. Because remember, you're only one little bit of the body. I'm only another little bit. We all go together and we tell each other what's happening and how much he's helping us. Expect it, because he said, come, ask, and you will receive. Who of you, as evil as you are, would give your son a rock if he asked for a piece of bread? And that was one of the first scriptures that gave me faith. And faith that something would happen in the spirit if I asked the invisible creator to help me. That was the one scripture that really kicked my faith into high gear when I was a young Christian. And so, yeah, I know as a mother, I wouldn't give my daughter a rock if she asked for bread. And they were the words of Yeshua himself. So
I'd give the Pope a rock.
Well,
that's different.
Tied around his feet. And and that's not being mean either. That's just, it is what it is. Because this is what this world needs to be delivered from, these evil creatures. Most of them probably aren't human. They really probably aren't. They probably do shift into different forms of whatever you know, whatever they are underneath that, but they're definitely demonic. And now we've got demonic things flying out of the erupting volcanoes, and it does seem like the gates of hell have opened. It's just no doubt. And, you know, we've got CERN to thank for that as well, with all their hadron colliding of atoms, smashing them into each other at billions of miles an hour. And and basically creating black holes. And what they want to do is create dark matter everywhere. They just want the actual, I've heard them say this. I heard one of the top scientists say what they're trying to achieve is for the whole universe to be dark matter. And it hit me. It was like, oh, wow. You see, they say it. They say it. They say it.
Yep.
What is dark matter? Dark is the opposite to light. Dark is, you know, Lucifer's dark father is light. So some interesting stuff there. And ask not, receive not. Well, that's right, Amanda Jean. You can't have, if he doesn't know what you want, even though he knows us inside out. But the thing is, he wants us to make that communication connection in that relationship. And that's how it is. You can't expect nothing from nothing. And that's why the universe wasn't created from nothing, from a big bang, and then nothing became everything. So their theory is null and void. It's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Right. So, you know, I guess we could stay on here and chat forever about this sort of stuff. And do you have any
I've just got
things?
I've just got another video to play and then an image that was going with the new bill that was being passed in Melbourne and all the other cities. I've just got a video here from a guy in America. He's really good, actually, and it actually goes to show that they're building more camps here in Australia, and then he's got something to say on the CDC shielding program. So what was this bill that's being passed in Melbourne or the other strong cities, the CDC is basically doing the same thing over in America. And he goes through I think it only goes for about 3 or 4 minutes, but it shows that a new camp is being built in Australia. Then he'll just quickly go through the CDC shielding, and that exactly marries into what's happening in Melbourne and all the other cities. So if we can just bring that up, that'd be good.
Have we? One second, let me.
We will be protected, guys. Don't worry about shedding.
Being built in Australia. These will be finished by March of 2022. This is 280p, probably filmed with like some kind of shitty camera over reception, but just look at it and tell me that it doesn't look a little odd, like it's meant to imprison people.
Go on B&C, mate. You know the way, yeah? Yeah. It's like some mad FEMA camp, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking crazy place. Fucking crazy place.
It's in the UK, actually. It had a UK accent.
No, but look at the dirt. Look at the ground.
Yeah, I know, but it had a UK accent. I don't know.
Yeah, but that means I know heaps of Pommies over here.
Well, you know, they got the same program going everywhere else anyway, at the same time. Right. So everything's going to be coordinated.
I just think, judging by if that's not Iraq or the Middle East, it would be Australia. It's very barren, like Alice Springs.
A little suspicious, don't they?
So these are getting built at the moment. So when they
maybe nothing bad will happen, but I'm just saying it doesn't look good.
Maybe nothing bad will happen. Glad he's hopeful.
That looks like prison. It was like prison camps.
Yeah.
And Could this be implemented in the US? Could we forcibly put people in camps against their will? We have a document on that too, released by the Department of Defense, specifically the Army. This came out in 2010, but it wasn't leaked until recently. This was originally a secret document. But it talks about how we would put people in internment camps and resettle them. So this could be migrants. This could be domestic terror threats. Or in the event of a pandemic, this could be people who are infected and could spread and subsequently do harm on the public. You see where I'm going with this.
Unjuiced.
This is a 326-page document, so I'm obviously not going to go through this whole thing in this video.
Yeah, No Pills has said this is in the UK.
Skim over that, and then I'll link the document in the description if you want to go through it yourself. We'll talk about how they're going to detain people, use force if necessary, and yeah.
Which is the same thing that's being passed in Melbourne and here in Australia as well.
And this is June 2021, the Biden administration.
Just stop there. So as you can see here, National Strategy for Countering Domestic, and I won't say that word. Now they're passing the same bill in Melbourne, and that will be, it's actually passed. It's actually passed. So you can see that they're all coordinating the same sort of thing. We're going to be, people are going to be labelled domestic, so that's all I'll say. They're going to be labelled as domestics, and then in comes the new laws with the Biosecurity Act and all that. As I've said in other live streams, biosecurity is national security, so you're going to have to be deemed as a biosecurity threat, and biosecurity is national security. So that's why you're going to go to these camps, okay?
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. So we'll just keep playing, mate.
They're working with the Department of Justice, and now anybody who questions an election, questions lockdowns, questions any kind of authoritarian measure as far as a pandemic response, you're now a domestic terror threat. I have a problem with this word, this T word right here, that I can't say on YouTube, because apparently it violates TOS, but that T word, the problem with it is it could be ambiguous. Instead of saying the whole word, I'll just say T. Let's say you have a corrupt government and they could have this policy where they deem, or they just say like, oh, you don't like our policy, you don't like what we say, you're not going to follow our orders, you're a T. You're a T.
Yep.
They can deem you this T word just for disagreeing with them. They can twist around the definition. You're a threat to the public for X.
And as I've covered in other live streams, you have the Identify and Disrupt bill, okay? So that's they can hijack your accounts. They can put anything that they want on there. People that they don't like, they can just they can actually take over your account and put anything that they want. Now, with that and this same bill that's been passed in Melbourne, and of course Australia, and with targeted lockdown, so you can see how the operation is going into another phase now. So it's going to be people that think Yeshua is Lord, everything like that. You're a domestic T. That's just the way it is, because they're after us. They're after, they want the body of Christ. That's what they want. That's what Satan wants out of all this. That's what he wants. And of course, with that same bill being passed in Melbourne, if you how would I put it? Let's say, oh, we've got 10 cases today, or Dan can just come out and say, right, 100% mandatory masks, the whole lot. If you get caught without a mask, it's a $22,000 fine and/or 2 years jail, just not for wearing a mask. So you can see that they've gone from one level, now they're really coming down, turning the screws down. So we'll just keep going.
Reason for why reason. If you disagree with us, we'll punish you and put you in prison because you're a T. So I'm not saying it's going to get to that point, but you can see the slippery slope starting to happen. You can see how these people are trying to fiddle around with the First Amendment. It's reminiscent of Hitler's regime. I'm not saying we're going to get to that point where it's like, oh, there's genocide, there's this and that, but things aren't looking good. You guys can see this. Unless you're blind, we all can feel that things are getting a little wonky here. See if I missed anything else. I'm just gonna go through this. Okay, yeah, I wrote a whole huge thing here. You can skim through that. And by the way, I get calls. I'm on a list. I'm on a list and I get targeted. I have gotten calls from the Department of Human and Health Services, and they'll try and coerce and pressure me into taking any kind of medicine. And anytime I want to debate with them or talk about a meta-analysis or talk about any kind of studies that are coming out or preprints that just came out of Israel, for example, they hang up the phone. They don't want to talk to me about that. They don't want to discuss science. They just want to coerce me. Isn't that funny?
Yep.
And I've talked to doctors about this.
So we'll just stop
Extended
there.
list of doctors, and that.
So I implore you guys to actually watch the whole video. This one's really, really good. This guy, I think he's only got 250 subscribers, and they're the sort of people I'd rather go for the low end of subscribers, because they're not in it for the money. They're not selling anything. You know, this is where, you know, not your big channels, they're all a bunch of shills. But, you know, these are the guys you want to be looking at. Now, why has what's happened in Melbourne with that bill being passed, this being passed in America, that sort of thing, I'm just going to bring up, and we did do a video about this earlier. So the next image, this is what it's all about. And as I've said, we've moved from one phase of the operation to the next phase. So the next image there, okay, if we can just get that up, if that's all right, mate. Can't. Yeah. So now I did do a video, and I thank everyone for actually getting back to me about what vehicles these are, because I'm into military aviation, and I know quite a few things about Army, but these vehicles I didn't, because I haven't seen them before. Now, if you have a look at these vehicles, they're white with the red cross on there. These are actually Bushmasters, I did find out. And they're made here in Australia, which would definitely make sense. Instead of transporting them over, it'd be too hard logistically. Well, it wouldn't be, they can do what they want, but logistically it'd be a lot better, because these are made in Australia. Now, some people call them MRAPs and that sort of thing. So if you have a look at the addition of if you have a look at what MRAPs are, they've got microwave weapons. These don't have them. Now, if you see that dish, I think it was on our last video, there's a dish that was actually a mobile phone tower in the back, so it didn't have any microwave crap on it. But as you can see, and I was actually really surprised that these guys moved this stuff during the day. I thought they might have. Well, they've probably moved most of it undercover at night time anyway. So obviously they want you to see this and say this is coming. So the bill here, the bill over in America, Canada and UK and all these camps and that sort of thing, this is what they're going to do. They're going to do targeted lockdowns. These vehicles are going to come in, take you away. They're going to have the police, the Defence Force backing them up, and feds, undercover feds and whatever else they're going to throw into the mix. So, as I said, my prediction from everything that I've gone through, and sis, you know, I go through it meticulously and hard as I can to try and get a time frame on this, because it's extremely important. And as they said that they were going to do targeted lockdown, so these are the sort of vehicles that'll come into suburbs that they lock down. Okay, well. You know, these people aren't done, and this suburb is very low on the juice uptake and that sort of thing. So put out, you set up your biosecurity zones, all that sort of thing. These guys come in along with all the other Defence Force, police, and whatever else, because people think. See, the problem is people think that you need about 10 to 15,000 vehicles. You don't, because you've got the police, you've got the Defence Force, and then you've got this. So it's a layered and structured operation where police will do something, they'll corner that off, the ADF will take care of that, or overseas defence forces in other countries, they'll do that. So it's very layered and structured. So what would they use these for? I don't know. I mean, they can cart people off in trucks if they want. They can maybe this is the last ditch to get the juice, and they take in the back and do whatever they want. I'd hate to see that, or it might not be any of that. It might be that they have something totally different inside, posing as a UN ambulance or something like that. So you just got to keep your mind active and keep your mind on things. And but seeing this in New South Wales, I think was only taken in New South Wales at the moment. That's the last thing you want to see. So if you start seeing stuff like that, it's starting to get real. It really is. And by next year, the first or second quarter, the screws are really going to come down. They're going to wheel the shit out. And especially because I can tell you right now, and I've said in other live streams, that Australia is the test case, and it will happen here first, followed probably by the UK and New Zealand and America. That's just my take on it, but Australia will be first. So I just wanted to try and bring you what was happening in Victoria and Australia, and then what was happening in America, and these vehicles that are coming out of the limelight now. So you can see that sort of uptick in operations, and it's going to the next level. So that's all I just wanted to present today. Just briefly, I really urge you guys to go through those videos and really go through it. Just educate yourself a little bit more about it, to prepare yourself psychologically and spiritually. I think that's just number one. And then we all have the covering of Yeshua, of course, but he expects you to be prudent. God gave you a brain, so damn well use it. Please don't be lazy. Do not be lazy. I really do not be lazy. That really pisses me off when people are lazy. So, the information's there. So go into it, have a look at it. And as I said, and Beck's done the same. Beck's done the same. She's spiritually prepared, and she's been prudent. Okay, so she's planned. I mean, you have to probably go through scenarios. Geez, if that happens, how am I going to do it? If that happens, how am I going to go about it? If they do that, how am I going to go about it? So, as I said, God gave you a brain, so damn well use it. That's the main message here. Okay, so so that's my presentation for today, sis, and thank you very much for everyone that's listening.
Thank you. Rock on, man. That was awesome. Awesome job. Well, as usual. I mean, you don't falter. That's good. Thank you. And this isn't the pat on the back society or anything, but he does do a good job, guys. So, and we just give you whatever we really can. There's so much coming on the table every day now that once we make our move and we can really hunker down, it'll be different. It'll be a lot more rolling along than this. So
I just wanted to quickly say something. Jennifer Chamberlain says, guys, have any of you seen the Australian military is apparently being trained to force jab? It was on the Hal Turner radio show. Hal Turner is a damn ex-con that used to work for the FBI. So that's the last sort of thing you don't want to get any information from that bloke. But yes, but I've got other documents from other live streams where in 2016 a defence document came out for SARS-CoV-2 that yes, it's actually a Department of Defence document that they can jab you anytime that they want, under any duress, under any circumstances, and that's in another live stream as well. They don't need to be trained for that because they go to a lot of war zones and they go to a lot of UN peace, or so-called UN peacekeeping missions, and so they're already trained. They don't need to train to jab people. They just grab it and jab it into you anyway, so you don't need much training for that. So yeah, that's what it's about. So yeah, no
Yeah.
worries, Jen.
Well, good on you. And welcome in, Washburn Billy. Nice to have you in. Yes, you have found the right place. Washburn Billy was saying he thought this stream was a bit different, and then he realised basically that we're all in the same family. So welcome in. Peter, thanks, Peter. Thank you. Please keep sending your emails. Guys, I think my email box is full, so I'm going to have to deal with that today. So just give me one more afternoon and you can send emails. They should be coming through then. People are saying they're having trouble. And I do have something I want to play for you guys now. And this lovely lady's name is Donna. She is a fellow sister. And I thought it'd be a really nice change for us just to watch this together, something different. And I can't remember. Donna sent this to me, actually. That's how I got a hold of this one. So if you're there, Messi, if he didn't step out for 10 seconds, which of course he does because we've been going an hour and 40 minutes and he does an awesome job. And I think I've lost everybody now. You there? Oh, you're there.
I'm still here.
Okay. Okay, we'll just have to wait for that next clip. But I was just going to play you a clip of a lady called Donna, one of our subs who has sent us something that we can all enjoy. I thought it was nice anyway. And while we're waiting for that, let's see what the Father wants to say. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is what I said to you this morning, Growler. This is the great and first commandment. Remember when you were talking this morning, guys, and about, do you go to hell if you have relations before you're married or this or that? And then I said to Growler, well, Yeshua said you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, all your mind, the first and greatest commandment. And the second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets. And so, yeah, it's great. Just do what you want done to you and you can't get that bad new age word karma on you. So I wonder what they call that in as a biblical word for, well, it is what goes around comes around. I know that's what it is. But it's so you're there, right? Are you there, Messi? I'm just asking. Are you there? Just want to play that last clip if you are. And he seems to be not. Well, we might start saying goodbye while you can. Here he is.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no worries. Well, it appears I didn't send it to him. So I'm just going to do that quickly while Growler gives a bit of a shout out to our beautiful family.
Okay, no worries. Again, thank you very much, guys. I know I dribble on sometimes, but that's the way it is, and I really feel like shouting sometimes and going off, but that doesn't achieve anything. Yep, you there? Hello, can everybody hear me here? Yep. Hello, can you hear me, sis? Okay. Can the chat hear me? Sorry, I just wanted to double check there. Oh, yes, they can. That's good. Okay, sorry, guys. We seem to have lost Beck. That's fine. So I just want to say a big shout out to our beautiful Fudge. Thank you very much. And Western Warrior, great to have you in. Real Bible, real life. We love you, mate. You're awesome. Paul Christopher for Christ, great to see you there, buddy. You're awesome. And the lovely Anne Morsworth, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much. And you're just so loved here. It's not funny. You know that. And Rayetta Lee and No Pearls Before Swine, great to have you in. And the lovely Carver Redeemed as well. And Timothy Ryan, thanks for coming in there, mate. And Julie C., thank you for coming in. And Ancient Egypt Queen, we love you, Mum. You're awesome, and I'd like to say a big shout out to Sam Wish. You know who you are. We love you, mate, and we
and
love
Mum
Mum
and
up
our other
and
mum.
Mum up and our awesome other mum up there. We love her very much, and we can't wait to see you very soon. The awesome Eric Dunaway. Good to have you in, mate. And great to have you in. And Sharp as Blade, you've got a great channel. Please go over and show Sharp as Blade some love there, guys. And Joe from Effed Up World, our awesome, very close brother. Great to have you. Great to have you in, mate. We love you. And show Joe some love, guys. The Bubba News is in. He's got a great channel. Show him some love as well. The awesome
Don't leave,
Vernon
guys.
Daniels. The awesome Vernon Daniels. Great to have you in, mate. You're awesome.
I got raptured.
Really are.
Beck returned from the rapture.
Yeah. And
I got raptured for a minute.
And Bronny. You're special, sister. You really are, and you just keep doing that work that you're doing. Father's going to bless you very, very much with what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Grumpy Troll, great to have you in,
Hey,
Grumpy Troll. And Sticks, yeah, you're a man of many words, mate. You know, yeah, I know you. You're a fellow soldier, so good to have you in, mate, and we love you heaps. So keep it together, mate, and we love you heaps. Kathleen Miller, God bless you. God bless your sister, and we're so happy that your lovely daughter is home safe and everyone's safe. So everyone, please keep praying for Kathleen. Cheyenne, yes, great to have you in, Cheyenne. Quite a few people from Eyes channel, so that's really, really good. She's got a great channel, so go over there.
We have Kylie also from Geelong, and she's on her own. Well, you're not on your own anymore. Not anymore.
Right.
Okay,
right.
not with this family. Everybody's got each other's backs here, Kylie. So you're more than welcome, sweetheart. And Washburn Willie, we are going to pray. If just hang in there a minute. Messy's got the clip, so we're just going to watch this together, and it's going to be awesome. Let's go.
Yeah. So I just wanted to thank
We're just going to watch this, Growler.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because we're not leaving yet. We're not leaving.
Good.
Many hearts will be deceived, and the love of many will grow cold. False prophets will arise, and the holy place will be defiled. Before the Son of God returns. Oh, if you have ears, then let your heart be found in Jesus. If you have ears, then let your heart be found in Jesus. Many hearts will faint for fear. Darkness will cover the earth. But the Lord will shine on his people. Now to him who overcomes, who is faithful to the end. I will give the morning star in Jesus. Oh, if you have it, then let your heart be found in Jesus. Oh, if you have ears, then let your heart be found in Jesus. Oh, if you have ears, then let your heart be found in Jesus.
Whoa.
Let your heart be found. Let your heart be found. Let your heart be found.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father in heaven, for this gathering. We thank you for your Holy Spirit. I ask that your Holy Spirit touches each and every person that is listening to this right now. Father, you've done incredible things with your family, with your sons and daughters. Lift them up, give them strength and courage. Let them know where to run as soon as they're feeling bad. Father, show them that you are their Redeemer, their salvation, that you are the Most High. You can fix any problem we have. Father, I pray for a sound mind, and I pray Psalm 51, create in me a pure heart, O Father, and a steadfast spirit to sustain me. And I pray that everybody agrees for a pure heart and a steadfast spirit to sustain them. Just like David prayed, Father, please hear our prayer. We confess our sins before you, and we confess that we are sinners, but we love you and we need you. And I ask that you pour out your spirit abundantly upon each and every person, every single person across this vast plain that asks for you, that asks for your help. Please pour out your spirit in abundance at this time. Father, we're at the end. I know it. I know it. Father, I pray for complete protection over every single one of your children, the ones whose names are written in the book of life. Hide us from the face of those who seek our life. Please, Father, thank you for each and every person on this stream. Give them the good gifts that only you can give as they go about the rest of their night, as they sleep. Visit them with peace and love in their spirits, that they can really feel that the good is coming, that you are coming, that you are bringing your Son to rule and reign forever. I thank you in Yahushua's name. King of kings, Lord of lords, every knee shall bow, every tongue will confess. Better to do it on this side of the veil. Thank you, Father. In Yeshua's name, thank you. Well, I really hope that this was a blessing for everyone tonight. I really do. And I love it. We all love our get-togethers, and it goes so fast, except when you're on your knees about probably 3/4 of the stream. So it's been good, and thank you, Growler, as usual. You're always,
no problems.
I don't know what we'll do without you, and don't know what we'll all do without each other. So we're lucky that we do. We've all got each other, and we can keep going with this as long as we can. So pray that we stay up. We do tend to be able to sneak around a lot of algorithms, and we're not getting hassled. And I honestly believe it's only through his protection. Absolutely. I don't think it's anything else. So please stay tuned for the outro, which is some of my photography. As usual, those who know, and it's an uplifting tune. So hopefully this will get you through until we see you next time. So
thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Really hope I haven't forgotten anything that I wanted to mention, but
Mm,
you're all
mm.
beautiful. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I will
Yep.
be cleaning out my inbox. A lot of people's emails have been bouncing back, and now I know why. So I do apologize about that. And so please feel free to email us with any prayer requests, anything you like. And we will be here for you next week. We'll be here for you
Yep.
before that, because we will be
Yep,
doing
yep.
walk and talks.
Yep.
And we'll keep you informed, because we love you all. Simple as
Mm,
that.
absolutely.
Pray for us, and we'll be praying
Yep.
for you guys, and we will see you on the next live stream, same
Yep.
time, same
That's it.
place next week. We love you
Yep.
all.
Yep.
This is Beck and Growler.
Thanks,
We
guys.
are
Out.
out.